Good morning. Hey, let's go over what we've done the last couple of days and get an idea going here for all of you. So, when you worked through earlier in the week, this table right here, and you talked about what things were going to be, and we did this idea of, hey, if it was zero, then I made $0. Or I paid $0. If it was one day, I did $30. And then 2 days, 60, because every time we do this, it's plus 30. Because that's every day I paid another $30. So the days now become the multiplier, and that's what we're ultimately going to be doing with our X values to get our Y values. So to finish the table, which all of you should have either written down or turned into me for a grade, this is what we're looking for going forward. So using this table, now what we do yesterday, we were plotting points. And the first part here, so remember, we had this table right here that we were looking at, and this was giving us our points. Let me do that real quick. This was giving us our points basically because we had X and Y. All right? X and Y gets back over here. So the first thing, and I had this question a couple of times. So plot the points from the table on the graph below in the red dots. All right? So my first point, if you remember, was 0, 0. So this is my first point, 0, 0. Well, if that's the case, then I take one of the dots, click, drag, and drop where 0, 0 would be. So now I've got my first point, 0, 0. Well, my second point was 1, 30. Okay, now it doesn't have to be perfect, but grab your second dot and come over here where the 1 is on the x-axis and about where 30 might be. Didn't have to be exact, just close. And the same thing with 2 and 60. So grab another dot. Come over here just above 50, and we're going to make 2 and 60. All right, so you finished all that, and I know I'm going to go a little faster, but I'm trying not to make this video too long if I can help it, because 3 is 90, and then 4 is just in between 100 and 125, because it's 120, and then 5 is right at 150. Later on, we'll talk about what that means. And then 6 is just over that at about 180, just over 175. And yeah, you got all these other dots, but think about that. Where might all the other things come into play? If you were to take and extend that, plot point and think about, hey, is she going to ski more than 6 days? Would you do that at an amusement park? Would you pay more money just to continue to have a good time? Well, maybe. And that's where it kind of comes down to. Now, number 5 talks about, hey, label the leftmost point A, and then after that, go from there. So we're going to grab A, and we're just going to drop it right over the first letter. And we're going to take B, and we're going to drop it right under B. Same thing with C. And every time, we're just labeling the points from A to B. Oops. My bad. Try to grab it again. Just the letter this time. And I'm alternating. I saw somebody in class doing this right on top of the letters. You can do that too. It doesn't. I don't care. It doesn't have to be art form. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be close because it's too difficult for me to make these in general. It took me a long time. So I knew up front when I started making this stuff that it would be tricky. But describe the movement. What do you think this means? The data points appear to be linear. What do you think that means? Well, if it appears to be linear, then could you take a line and draw it through all the stuff? Well, that makes it linear. I know it's not perfect. I mean, that's just what it is. And then the vertical change, hey, so from A to B. So from A to B. How far did you go up? Think back to your table. How far did you go up from A to B. So from here to here, how'd you, because this was A, this was B, this was C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, so from A to B, how far did you move up the y-axis? Well, that answer is 30. And then how far did you go over and to the right? From A to B, how far did you go over and to the right? So when I talked about plus 1s and plus 30s, that's where this becomes, hey, by the way, my horizontal change is 1. And then from B to C, how far did you go up? 30. And we went over 1. All of these are 30 and 1. All of them. Because, as I talked about in one of the other videos, that's where our slope comes in, and that's our constant rate of change. Because the vertical change is always 30, and the horizontal change is always 1. And that is what we're going to be doing moving forward with some of these other tables that we're going to be playing around with in the next few days. We hope that helps. Please don't panic and take your time, because we want you to practice with IXLs. We want you to practice with doing the graphs. Bring your springboards to class, because this kind of stuff might be a lot easier in class with that. Y'all have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope it helps.